Okay, so I've got my paper loaded up into my Cricut here, and so let's get started with the frog. Now the frog, the image that I'm using is from Create a Cricker, page 24, and I am going to be using this froggy. And so what I want to do is I've decided which colors I'm going to use, and I'm going to start with the frog base, and I'm cutting mine at 3 inches, and I forgot to change that. Now I've set my blade at 5. I'm not sure, this isn't a particularly thick cardstock. It's obviously heavier than regular paper, and it's a nice cardstock, but it's not super thick, so I'm thinking 5 will get through it. I've set my pressure on high and my speed on high. I don't want to go too fast. And so what I'm going to do, using my arrow, I'm going to scroll over, and I'm going to start with this dark green right here. And that's what I'm going to be doing the main body of my frog. Now this one I want to be kind of, this will be the background, so I'm going to do that in black, but we're going to start with the main body of the frog, which is layer 1, and I'm going to hit the frog. Whoops, grabbed the wrong one. I hit the owl. Let's go back. Layer 1, the frog is the very first image on there, and we're going to hit cut. Now because this is the first time that I've cut on this particular cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and unload my mat when this one's done. Normally you wouldn't have to do that, but I want to be sure that I cut it appropriately. So let's hit unload paper. Okay, that's a perfect cut. So I'm going to leave it on there. Then I'll load my paper back up. I like the way it cut at a blade depth of 5. So now I'm just going to use my arrow key to go to the next square. And I am going to cut the little belly button piece, which is layer 2. So we'll hit layer 2 and my frog and cut. Now I also want to do the lily pad out of that same lighter color green, so I'm going to hit line return and let it go back, or I could have just used my arrows because I'm going to end up using them anyway, but I'm going to go there. And then the lily pad is the accessory key, so I'm going to use my accessory key and my frog and hit cut. And it was bigger than I expected. I should have, see, that's why you use your white paper, and I should have. That's okay, we'll find something else for the lily pad. Now I'm going to go down here to the black, because that is what I'm going to use as my bottom of my card base. So make sure that all of my layers and accessories are off, and I'm going to just cut using the regular feature. I'm just going to cut my frog on the regular, that's just the regular button. Nothing special about that. Now, I haven't decided what base color paper I'm going to use yet, so I think that I'm going to want to go ahead and cut the shadow piece for this. And I think for that, for now, you know, for now I'm not going to, because I ran into the white with my green. But now I need the cheeks. So I have a few different options here. I could go with this suede down here in the corner, or I could go with either of these 2 reds. And I think I like the lighter of the 2 reds. So I'm just going to scroll over here, line it up. It's really nice with the grids. I mean, as each pattern comes to a corner, you can find the grids. And I'm going to look, my cheeks are layer 3. So we'll go layer 3, frog, and cut. Okay, so now we have all of our design cut, and let's go make a card. Okay everybody, we're back, and now we're going to construct our card. Now you see I've already popped all my pieces out, including bad lily pad. Just keeping it real here. And now I'm going to do a little bit of paper trimming because I want a little piece of this, but as you can see, I still have some coordinating things that I could cut other shapes out of. Plus, who knows, I may want a mouth or something out of this sometime. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set this, my paper trimmer up, and I know that I'm safe cutting through the black because there's not much of that left and I have plenty of black. And I think I've decided I want about, let's do it this way. I think I want about a, let's go with a 2-inch red piece here. So, or the coral color piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it till I come to that line. And then I'll flip my paper around and cut it the other way. That way I can still use my this corner red piece for a different shape sometime. And then also if I wanted some more cheeks or something little, I'll still have some of this pink or this lighter coral color to be able to use because I want that for another project. And I want to cut this. This is 2.5. I also want to cut it to be 3 3/4 inches wide. So I'll just bring this over here like so. Perfect. So that's going to go on the base of my card. Now, there's one more thing I wanted here, and I decided I wanted a heart out of the same color. So I went and I found this Recollections heart punch that I have that I don't even know if I've ever used. Let's turn it over so I can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to punch a little heart. And I want to get it as close to the edge as I can so that I can have plenty of room left on there for in the future. So for now, we'll just set that aside and let's start making our card. Now I've chosen 2 sets of stamps from K. Andrew Design. The first one is Scripts or Sayings, and the stamp that I've chosen is A Cheerful Heart is Good Medicine. And then the second one is Positive Thoughts, and I just simply chose this smile. So we're going to, as I often do, start with the inside of my card, and I've chosen this kind of coral color, solid color that I pulled from my scrap stash. And I'm just going to pull my black die pad, and I'm going to, that's where I'm going to put A Cheerful Heart is Good Medicine. Now I have to say this card is for a very special little girl who is about 18, 19 months old, who we just found out has a very aggressive form of cancer. And so I want to send this to her, even though she may not remember it. It's more, you know, to encourage her parents as well. So as you can see, I didn't get that very straight, but thankfully it's opaque enough. We'll just flip it over and try again. Looks like I don't have that straight on my block, so I'm going to just pull it over. If I go off camera, forgive me, but I want to get it straight this time. There we go, much better. So that is that for the inside of my card, and I've just chosen a standard, my Georgia Pacific white cardstock here, and this is going to go on the inside of my card. And I think I found some cute things. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's just line that up. And I think that this time that's all I'm going to do on the inside of the card because I want to make a little note for her. So we have the inside of the card. Now let's dress up the front. Now I have another piece of that coral paper that I'm going to choose here. And that's going to be the base. I've cut that at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches so that it will fill up my base. And that's going to just be centered right about there. And then I have this green that coordinates well with the green from that Megan Elizabeth paper. And this is just some shimmer cardstock. I think it's from the Paper Studio. I just found it in my scrap stash. It was just a piece that I had. And again, if I wanted to, I could use all the coordinating layers from that Paper Layer Stash by Megan Elizabeth. But I wanted the solid colors this time. And that's going to go there. And this is where we're going to add our bottom little coral piece because I wanted just some extra dimension. Now, I think maybe I'll trim just a hair more off. Maybe I'll do like a, whoops, wrong thing. Maybe I'll trim maybe just 1/4 of an inch off, or no, 1/8 of an inch off, 1/4 of an inch off, I guess is what I'll do, just to make it a little bit narrower so that it doesn't go right up next to the coral below. Even though it coordinates, I just like to have that little green break. So when I place that on my paper, I'm going to bring that up just a little bit, just to create a small margin there, just like so. Now let's go ahead and put together our cute little frog. Now remember, this is the black piece from there, and the dot piece and the lighter dot piece. So let's just go ahead and adhere those layers. I know the ATG is kind of cumbersome for some, especially on die cuts. I don't use it always with my little die cuts, but for these larger ones it works just fine. But if you prefer, you could use your Scotch Quick Dry or your Tombow Mono, whatever you prefer to use it on there. And then the belly is just the lighter color green, which is the perfect color. I mean, it's not the exact same color as what's in the solid piece, but it's so close, but just off enough to give it a little bit of contrast. And this is the belly. And now let's find those sweet little cheeks, which I've moved up here so that I wouldn't lose them. And let's see, one of them's larger than the other, and I can't remember which way it goes, so I'm just going to put it where I want to. We're going to go just about there and there. And this time I am going to grab my tweezers and use just a tiny dot of Tombow Mono. Now if I wanted to, I could use the other side, which is a blue polka dot, which I don't really want to for this project, but it would be a cute idea if I decided to. Now I have to tell you, this Tombow Mono is very old and it still works. It's still such a great glue. I just love the Tombow Mono. I forget that I have it, and that it, you know, that's in my different times of trying different products, I forget that oldie but goodies that I have, and wish I used more, because this was my standby wet glue for a long time. Okay, so now we've put his little cheeks on him, and this is where I wanted to do with the heart. I wanted to take the little heart and I want to put it right in the middle of the belly. I just thought that would be cute. So we'll just put that there, and that just adds another little dimension, just like so. Isn't that cute? Now I decided, instead of the black eyes coming through, I wanted googly eyes. So I went through my stash and I found a little thing of googly eyes, and I'm just going to put a drop of glue right in the middle of that black and press it down just like so. It's like I may not have got enough glue there, because it's, let's put it right on the googly eye. Maybe that would be better, because the layer, it's not coming quite all the way through. There we go. Just gluing my eye wet on my finger to the eye. Now when that dries, I got some glue on the top of the eye, so I'm going to have to clean off the top of the eye, which won't be any problem because it's plastic. Alright, so isn't he adorable using that paper? All coordinates well. Isn't he just adorable? Now he is going to, or she is going to go right here in about the center of our card, but before I adhere him, I want to figure out where I'm going to put my smile sentiment. And I think I'm going to put it right up in that upper corner. And so let's go ahead and just tape that down. This is again from the K. Andrew Designs Positive Thought stamp. Now this paper is pretty slick, so I'm just going to come over so I get a better eyeball on it, because I don't know if you've stamped much on slick paper, but if you have, you know how easy it is for it to slide. Plus, you always have to remember it takes a little bit longer to dry. And so you want to be real careful not to touch it, because otherwise you will have a smeared mess. And I'm so close to done with the card, I don't want to smear it now. And so now I think what I'm going to do is I want to put my little frog on, and I think all the dimension that I want on this one is going to just be from the eyes itself. So I'm not going to put any little foam adhesive or anything under it, but I could. I don't think I'm going to this time. So I think I'm just going to use my normal plain old ATG to get them adhered really well. And then we have one more fun little element to add to the card. And that is this little bow. Now this is I just got this ribbon just the other day. This is from 3 Girl Jam, and I bought their ribbon maker. And sometime be watching, because I'll have a video using that 3 ribbon maker. And this is the very first bow I've ever made with it. And if you've seen my videos, you know how much I struggle with bows. This one went together like a breeze. So be watching for that. And now what I'm going to use, I have from Above Ruby Studio. I also have this adhesive pack that you can get from them. It comes with thick adhesive squares, and then it has clear squares, and then it has some foam. And I'm just going to use the foam squares that don't really add dimension, but I want a good thick adhesion for my bow, because I don't want that bow coming off in the mail. And so it's a pretty good size square, so I'm going to end up folding it over a bit, and that's, or at least maybe I'll just pull it off and kind of roll it in my fingers. That'll work. And let's see, which side of the bow do I want showing? Let's go with that side of the bow, and I'll just put that on the back, and I'm going to put that right in her hair. Now the tails are a little bit long, but I didn't want to trim it until I had it on the card. So let's trim that up. Not very long tails at all, but isn't she cute? So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep hopping along. And if you are joining us from YouTube, be sure and check out my blog at www.djsundry.blogspot.com. I do have some candy that I'm giving away as part of this hop, but you can only get it by going to the blog. So thanks for stopping by. Keep hopping along, and I hope you are inspired to go out and create some great products. Have a great day. Bye.